and good evening and welcome back to the GSMC. We are here at round 2 at Silverstone. This is a really exciting race. I can't wait for this one. We are back this evening. We have our very first night race ever here at the GSMC. I have with me my co-commentator as before, Mr. Xanax. Xanax, say good evening.
Good evening, ladies and gents, boys and girls. It's going to be a good race today, I think. Maybe, hopefully.
Hell yeah, it is.
So we shall see. It's shaping up to be a rather large grid, 16 races on the track, so especially it being a nice circuit, going to be good.
Yeah, really interesting this one. This track is really fast. We are at 5.9 kilometers or 3.6 miles in length. The weather is fairly chilly actually, with only an ambient air temperature of 8 degrees with a track temperature a degree lower at 7. Obviously it's night race, so track temperatures and tyres and things are going to be very difficult to maintain over the course of the 40-minute race length we have here. Right, let us get back into this. So we are in our current practice session here. We are riding on board with Schmidt, I believe we are indeed. So interestingly enough, Mr. Xanax, we have a few drivers this evening who have ballast applied based on their championship position so the overall championship. So we have Frozen Droid, who won last weekend. He's receiving the maximum ballast we have at the moment of 60 kilograms. Then we have Spook, who is in second place with 50 kilograms, and then Twin Flow in third with 40 kilograms of ballast. Do you think this is going to make a difference to these drivers this evening?
It may. It's going to affect basically just the power. It's ballast. It's there to slow them down. It will affect them in a way, shape or form. How much it's going to affect them, that's the question. Again, this is the first time we're running ballast in the GSMC, so it's one of those we will see.
Yeah, absolutely. And interestingly enough as well, this is going to be the very first time the drivers themselves have tried the ballast that all week. I've deliberately not allowed them to practice with the ballast, so it becomes a real big impact on the drivers. This is the first practice session which they experience the full force of the ballast.
And if the drivers are unaware of how it impacts their cars, they are going to be in the dark, quite literally.
Quite literally. Wild Boy says we've got double mic on Xanax. Let me have a look, see if I can fix that.
It's almost as if we're professionals.
It's almost like we're professionals. Why is that? Stupid skill series. I don't think I can fix that. I generally don't think I can fix it without mixing you into the main audio. Stand by, caller.
Your hold is important to us.
Okay, we'll mix you into the main audio. Give us a chat.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, so you should be now in the main audio, so you might sound a little bit different, but we'll boost your volume a little bit there. There we go. Okay, well, boys, if that is better, let me know. Sorted. Okay. I got a new headset. Is the problem, Xanax? I got a new headset, and it's caused me all sorts of grief since I've started it.
It's always that initial setup that will get you. It's the same with any piece of kit.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just have 4 minutes left of the practice session, actually. And I haven't even gone through the season standings, so we're going to pop that up now. Ooh, season standings, please, if you don't mind. There we go. So we have Frozen Droid leading the way with 20 points after round 1. Spook in second place with 15 points. In third place, we have Twin Flow in the full one-ton racing team with 12 points. Ricky Tan with the Brum Boys in fourth with 9. Fifth, we have Wanowaski for the Farmer Joe racing team with 7 points. Jack is in 6th place with 5 points. JR in 7th place with 4 points. Ray in the Backmarkers team, he is in 8th with 3 points. Jordan is in 9th place with 2 points. What a great outing for him last time into the points. And Gagan, our brand new driver here at the GSMC, in 10th place with 1 point. If we go over to the next page, these are all the drivers that haven't scored a point. So that is Schmidt, Mason, or the coolest guy, Oblong, Flyer, Korsky, Fleet, and Wild Boys. So these are all the drivers that haven't managed to make any points so far this season. And we do have a couple of new drivers this evening with us. We do have English 52, who is currently in the pit, so we can't watch on board with him. And I believe, is it No, Flyler was here last week. So I think it might be just English 52 that was with us. We are at 16 races this evening. We had 18, I think, last weekend. We have had a few that cannot make it with us this evening. But man, when we get all the drivers, I think we have something like 22 drivers that are able to join us on the grid here at the GSMC, which is going to be incredible.
That is going to be incredible, and it's also going to be mayhem on the track. Not many of us are used to driving with 22 or 21 other people on the grid. It's T1 is going to be a massacre potentially,
especially at some of the tighter circuits. Because obviously you're one of these 22, right? So you'll be back.
I am
with us
one of those 22.
You'll be back with us hopefully for the next GSMC race, which is in a little while, and you'll be back on the grid and in your rightful place. What team are you with again?
I believe for this one I'm with FLD.
Oh, you
JL.
are.
Yep.
You're in that beautifully matte green FLD racing team in the Audi.
Yep.
Probably the best sounding car that we have. It is an absolute screamer going around this circuit. You can hear those things coming from a mile off it. They're incredible.
I will concur, and I'm looking forward to actually getting back in the seat. It has been way too long.
Hell yeah, it'd be good to have you back, man. Not that it's not been good to have you here co-commentate with me. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
When I can.
Yeah. So we have just over 2 minutes left of the practice session. It is a good 2 minutes 5, 2 minutes 6 lap round here. So they're only going to get a couple of qualifying laps in, really. So it's going to take about 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes just to do a single lap. So that, you know, within the 15-minute qualifying, you're not going to get a lot of time in, are you?
No, it means every lap will have to count, and if you screw it up or you bin it, it's going to penalise you even more. It's going to reward those who are consistent and can actually keep the car on the ragged edge, and it's going to punish those who push over that edge and end up in the gravel or in the grass. And you've got to make every lap count.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And would you, if you was driving this, would you fuel the car up to just keep pounding around, put a banker lap in and just keep going, or would you swap back for fresh tyres each time?
I would definitely do string 2 or 3 together. I wouldn't necessarily do fuel up for the full 15, but I would fuel up so I can at least do 2 or 3 laps and just get them knocking in.
Hell yeah,
And
I'm
just
dead happy
that way-
since Sunday, huh? I guess it's time for a Chinese. Get me a double order of wontons. Oh, we got a wonton fan in the house, I see. Let us actually, yeah, we see Twin Flow here. He does have some ballast on this evening, 40 kilograms. And he is in first place with a 201.351, which is a mighty lap, may I say, around here.
And the other wonton is not far behind with a 201.7. Again, this is just practice though, so we'll see how they do in quali.
Yeah.
As those actually count.
And I'm assuming a lot of these drivers, I know I do it in this practice session when I'm doing the GSME. This is where I'd get my eye in for qualifying, so I'd be on low fuel, soft tyres, just sort of ragging it around here as much as I could.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Practice for the race during the week, and then have that knowledge of how the car reacts in race trim, and then at the end of the day.
I'm dead happy,
It's
says
not
my
much.
boy is repping high with a weight belt on. Absolutely. You got to pound up that hill with the weight belt on to get used to it, right?
Exactly, yep.
So, I was going to say how long we got left, but the session is over. So, the practice session has finished. We're going to wait for these drivers to finish their laps and return back to the pits. You may notice a little bit of low visibility, but we've added a bit of gain for the stream camera, so you can just about make out. The driver numbers are very, very visible in the car, so you can see this is the number. He is in position 101 in green in the top left-hand corner of the car. We will do our best to keep you informed about who we are looking at throughout the race. I'm dead happy to say this is Dragon Ball Z rules. If you take that weight suit off, he'll unleash. Yes. So let's have a look here. Actually, I'm surprised Ricky Tan's paced in third place at the moment as well. Very, very strong here.
Very impressive.
He obviously
Very
is the
impressive.
first runner that doesn't have ballast. So he
However,
should be...
Frozen...
Second.
I was going to say, Frozen is not far behind, though, with the 202.08, so
Yeah.
5 thousandths of a second off.
And he has the maximum amount of ballast we are giving the drivers this weekend. So it might not matter too much in qualifying, but it's in the race where I think, because you're going to have 60, 70 kilos of fuel, then you're going to have the ballast on top of that. Whereas,
which is going to, and that's going to increase your tire deg, and that's where it's going to matter.
yeah, exactly. I think in qualifying they might be able to just to get away with it. You know, pure driving is going to help with that. So who have we got on track? We've still got Mr. Frozen Droid out on track as we speak. In P4, he's looking to set his fastest lap time. We also have Flyler still out on track. These guys might get timed out by the end of the session, but that's their own fault for being out for so long. And then we will be moving into qualifying. I'm excited for qualifying here, actually. This is an amazing track to qualify on. So fast. You can basically throw it all away. Tech question, the car livery designer, can he use emissive textures to make the numbers on the side of doors illuminate for night races? Unfortunately, he can't. There is no illumination textures in R Factor 2, but be rest assured that this is our only night race of the season, so we only have the one night race, and then we will be going into normal daytime races. But we are moving to qualifying. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to qualifying. Look at the cars. Look at them piling to the end of the pit. They are desperate to get out and be out ahead of everyone else. Who got the job? Who's head of the queue here?
It looks to be
English. Our brand new driver in the brand new Space Racing liveried English 52 Space Racing car. I believe he is riding alongside Mr. Ricky Tan tonight in the Brumboys team. Let me jump onto their team radio and see what they have to say.
It's fine, mate. Oblong. Come on, Oblong, you can follow me around.
That is just Ricky
He's not
Tan
going to
talking.
die for me today.
But I can see from my window here that English actually has his microphone muted in TeamSpeak, so I wonder if our race director could let him know. Should be nice. But we do have TeamSpeak running. We do also have replays going as well for the start of the race. This is going to be an interesting qualifying session for sure. So English 52 we are right on board with. He is brand new into the GSMC, brand new driver. His first ever race here with us, and we've slung him into the Audi in a brand new livery team. He has a teammate who unfortunately couldn't make it this evening, but he should be with us for the next one. Let's bring up the qualifying box here. So who has he got behind him? Is that Spook just behind him?
That is the pairing of Spook and Twinflow behind him. They're going to want to get into that clear air. And see Spook just going down the inside there. Again, this is qualifying, and with the long lap time, every lap will count.
Yeah, it looks like they've given up on trying to get past him at this stage and just going to let him go and follow him around. So we are going to ride. Actually, let's take a ride on board with Mr. English 52. It gets a nice...
Just...
Go on, Zalek.
So you were just saying we see Spook just getting ready for his lap behind him, warming his tyres as much as he can, prepping for that lap.
So we are on board now with English 52 as he heads into turn 1. Dab on the brakes, gets the car turning and misses the apex slightly. There is a car just in front of him coming out of the pit lane. He does flash his lights to him. They do move out of the way nicely for him to the inside. That is good racing etiquette. Get onto the actual sausage curb a little bit, upsets the car, but this is a really tight, twisty first sector. I know Wild Boys loathes this part of the track. He prefers the old Silverstone circuit where you go underneath through bridge.
I do too, but this new section is also good fun. And coming into Brooklands now, hits the apex wonderfully, moving into Luffield, that long right sweeping right-hander. A good exit there, good racing line, full on the power. And into the tricky cops section right now.
So it seems like he just dubbed down one gear. I've seen a couple of drivers go down 2 gears through there.
Seems to have worked though. We don't have any live timing per se right now.
Yeah, I've got it on. So he's currently 33.8 in this first sector. We haven't broken the second sector beam yet.
Yep.
As he heads on down to the hangar straight, he's setting a really fine time here. Actually, really clean. So second sector is a 53.78. Let's see where that takes him to. So they're 53.0s, 53.0s.
53.0. Ricky was 54.8.
So he's about.
He's
In and about around the right sort of times, I think. He's going to mix it with the big boys, I think, today.
He is going to be in the mix.
Looked like he missed the apex there on the first. Run a little bit wide on the second, so it's going to compromise him a little bit through this sector. So it's going to cost him a little bit of time as he races up to the line now. It puts him on provisional pole with a 2:03.115, but I think he's going to fall quite quickly here. So yeah, we see Spook go through and Twin flow through, so it drops him down into third.
Now into fourth with Frozen setting a 2:01.8, Jack with a 2:02.5, Ricky with a 2:04.0, and Mason with a 2:04.8 as well. So he's well into the midfield. It's a very impressive effort.
That is a very, very fine time for English at his first light up. But actually, I want to talk about Jack. Oh, we see Jack return to the pits and we jumped on board with him, so we're going to switch to Frozen Droid now. But Jack P4 now. That's a really good time for Jack.
I think that's 2:02.5. That's well up there.
I think that's one of his fastest times I've seen him set this week. And he does it. He seems to do this just when he needs to. So he's been practicing a week. Doesn't seem very fast, but when he needs to just turn up the dial, he seems to just put it out of the bag in qualifying.
And just cranks it up to 11 when it's necessary.
So who have we got through at the moment? So we've only got 9 out of the 16 races through on a lap. I think we saw Wild Boys exiting the pit, so he should be on an out lap fairly soon. But we see actually Frozen Droid here, a thousandth of a second up in his first sector. So he's abandoned that lap actually. So Frozen Droid abandons that lap and he's returned to the pit lane. So he knows he wasn't up enough on the first sector. He wasn't happy with the car or the tyres. So he's returned back. But man, Spook with the 101.257 is... That
is just insane, especially with the weight penalty.
Is that beatable?
I don't think so.
I think the only person possibly that can will be his brother in arms and the fellow full Wonton racing team car of Twin Flow. And he is, what, 3/10 down?
3.6 tenths down.
Yeah, it's a lot to ask around here. You've got to pick up at you've got to shave like half a tenth here, there and everywhere on every corner around here. There's not one corner I don't think that you can just gain a horse load of time on.
No. It's every thousandth, every hundredth will matter, and those will all add up.
So actually, let us ride on board. We haven't seen any of these guys, so let's have a look at Jordan. He did very well at the end of the last race. Let's have a listen to their team radio.
Yeah, I don't really know what's... That was a... The corners, I just really feel like I'm losing the back end.
So Jordan there is complaining about losing the back end in his Aston Martin. Struggling with some setup there. We saw him actually going a little bit squirrely through on his outlap to start, but we just see him actually runs really wide.
There he goes again.
Yeah, the back just doesn't seem to grip up for him. He needs to set a lap time soon, so he should probably just carry on with this one. At least get this banker in. Because we've got a couple of slow times down the back with Flyer with 20 plus seconds off. So yeah, he just needs to get this one in, get settled, maybe just go around for 2 laps, get the tyres warmed up a little bit more. I did drive the Aston Martin during the week and I felt the same. The rear end just wanted to let go a little bit on the first couple of laps until the tyres warmed up.
And at which point do we see Korski there having spun around as well?
Yeah, that looks like Korski was off the track. Is he returned? No, he is still in the PGT. Oh, he's just waiting for traffic, I think.
I would say so as well. Once Jack goes by, we'll probably see him there. We go back on the track.
Trying to in that BMW. But yeah, Korski actually finds up 6th place as well with 2:02. He's only, what, 1/10 behind Jack in 5th place. And actually, we see Jack down into 5th now with JR bumping him out.
Yeah, Korski's about 1.5 tenths behind Jack there, and the next closest driver is Schmidt, very close behind. Again, 1/10. So the midfield is really close.
Yeah, the midfield is exactly where we want it to be. Let's have right on board with Schmidt as we talk about him. He's on a fast lap here, but he's down a tenth in his first sector alone. Let's see if he can pick it up through the second.
I was going to say being down in a single sector is not an issue. It's if you can consistently down, that's where things get, well, worrying.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, like you said, he is so close to Korski. He only needs to shave a tiny little bit of time off to gain of one position and possibly two if he can get a couple attempts out of this. Look at that.
Yep.
Pictures the car, and that car just looks like it's on rails, that McLaren. It looks incredible through these. So we have 5 minutes remaining of qualifying. I think people are going to need to be out on track very, very shortly to start their final qualifying lap times. And do you know what I've just spotted?
What?
Spook's latest time.
Holy, excuse my language, shit.
Spook goes
200.9.
6 tenths faster than second place with ballast. Unbelievable. I'm dead happy. What balance amounts are they carrying? All the same? No. So Frozen Droid has 60 kilograms on board. Spook has 50 kilograms on board, and Twin Flow has 40 kilograms on board. So this is based on their championship positions. And we are watching Schmidt go 2 tenths up in the last sector, but down on the first couple, so he doesn't improve his time. Terabyte says, evening, very dark. Good evening, Terabyte. It is a bit dark here at Silverstone. We are doing our first ever night race here at the GSMC. We are looking forward to it, to see these cars in their natural, with their natural lights on, shall I say, because there is no floodlights here.
Yep. And just as an update, Frozen now into second place with a 201.3, so only 3.5 tenths behind Spook's absolutely insane time.
That is incredible stuff, and these are the guys with the ballast. And like we said, we didn't think it was going to impact qualifying too much, and I think this has proved it.
But yeah, what's this impact going to be in race trim? That's my question. Is it going to be? Are they going to be able to deal with it, or is it going to impact that tire wear and?
Yeah, and this track is very, very grippy. Very grippy, this track. It really hurts tire wear. So let us run down our top 5 or 6, shall we? So we've got Spook in first, we're followed by Frozen Joy, Twin Flow in third, Ricky Tan in 4th place, Jack in 5th, JR in 6th. So Jack has now got above JR back into 5th place. So Jack has improved his time. Korski, Schmidt and English 7th, 8th and 9th, with Gagan in 10th place. And Gagan has said to me he's not feeling very well this evening. He's got feeling a little bit under the weather, but he's here, turned up, and he's doing a great job in 10th place.
But more importantly, that 7th to 11th, sorry, 7th to 10th to 11th is very close in terms of timings. So even if we do get Spook doing a Max Verstappen and running away with it, that midfield battle is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. And as we see, the pit lane looks very, very busy right now. All these cars exiting the pit lane to get their final runs in with 2 minutes remaining. This is going to be it. This is the last push-ups. We are riding on board with Twin Flow on his first, well, not first, but on a flying lap. Let's see what he can do through the first sector. It looks very smooth and very clean through here in the Aston Martin. They've got a nice setup going. What can he pop as? So he's up a 10th in the first sector. So he's done a 33.013. Did he just
doesn't seem to be getting his back end. He's on the ragged edge there.
Yeah, so he's going to cost him a little bit for his second sector. Let's see if he can hold on to it. But he was up in the first sector alone. The full Wonton boys definitely don't want to give up anything. They might be teammates, but they're still fierce competitors on the track.
And you can hear those tyres just screaming for mercy.
Oh, there's someone spinning behind as well. Their tyres were screaming as well. As we see, oh, look at that. The car's just pitching in. He does look right on the ragged edge here. As he heads down the hangar straight, he should cross the second beam. So he's lost nearly 3 tenths, 2.9, 2.9 tenths in that last, in the middle sector. So he's down on that middle sector. So he's almost about even. What can he pull out in the third? So yeah, I think that little sideways action through Luffield definitely hurt him.
Definitely hurt him. Definitely cost him dearly.
So I'm just watching him now as he goes, runs a little bit wide, but gets the car pulled back in. Desperately trying to pedal it across the line, crosses the line now. And he doesn't reclaim second. He does reclaim second place with 2 tenths off Spook. So yeah, he's got a really good first sector, but second 2 he needs to work on. That's where he's losing his time. So Spook remains in the pit lane, so that is Spook saying, I'm done. Twinflow abandons the lap, so Twinflow is done. So it's down to Frozen Droid. Let's ride with him now. He's in his first sector, starting his first final lap.
And he wasn't able to improve on his last lap, so this is it.
I think his last one was his out lap, actually.
Oh. This is why I can't have nice things.
So we are watching him now power down the Wellington straight across the beam for the first sector marker. Let's see how he's progressing here. Down a 10th. Oh, he runs really wide.
Really wide, but getting that good exit out of Luffield. So who knows? May have been a case of slow in, fast out.
We are going to ride on board with Frozen Droid here. So he's just trying to look like he's trying to just let the traffic know in front of him that he's there. Oh, he's right on the regular. Very, very clean through there though from Frozen Droid.
Very clean, very clinical.
But he's got a kamikaze racing team car in front of him. He just doesn't want to catch it up too much if he can help it. Maybe getting the draft down the hangar straight will help. But he needs it to get out of the way before he hits the corner.
I was going to say, you don't want to sacrifice that into the corner. If he gets that kamikaze gets in the way during that section, it's game over.
So actually, he's a second down on his middle sector here from Frozen Droid. I think that could be writing on the wall for him.
Yeah, he's closing onto Oblong. Very good one from Ricky Tan as well. He's another one to watch as Frozen pulls into the pits. Yeah,
so Frozen Droid has a balance. So actually, yeah, good purple sector from Ricky Tan here in the Brum Boys Aston Martin. So he goes purple for the first, but only orange, so 6 tenths down in his middle sector. Let's see if he can improve his time. So yeah, 6 tenths is what he was on Frozen, so he needs to just... Oh, look at that, right on the ragged edge, he's giving it everything. He brakes hard now, turns in. On the power really early here, scrubbing the tyres all the way through. Like he doesn't need to keep this set for the race. Powers down, start, finish, so take the checkered flag, goes across the line now with a 1:01.7. Doesn't improve his time. No, he was up though. That was his personal best second sector, but he's just off. How much was he off? 3 tenths, 3 tenths from Frozen Droid there. So yeah, what an amazing qualifying session. I think that is all of our drivers done. So we will be progressing to what we call our warm-up phase, is where our race director applies any penalties. So we do have some penalties for Wild Boys, who will unfortunately be starting at the back of the grid when we go through. So we'll push through to that, and then once we hear from our race director that we're good to go, for some reason the warm-up is in daylight, so you can actually see a little bit if you wish. Let's listen to the drive-by racing team. They always have a laugh.
You know, he talks the talk, you know, but when the chips are down...
Not backing up.
No, flops it.
Yeah, man.
Also, what pains me is that Vincent has the most ballast and he's starting P3.
So they're just chatting about the ballast situation, how Vincent has the most ballast and he's starting in P3, and that pains him. So yeah, he needs to get faster basically. So we are just waiting here. So we have 10 minutes left on the one timer, but we wait for our race director to give our 1 minute warning before we go. We have J71, bonjour mon ami, let's race. Bonjour my friend, bonjour. Hope you're doing well. He is our insider Oblong information man. Hopefully Oblong and I'm crossing all my fingers and toes here, has a better race than last time where he got absolutely annihilated into turn 3, I think it was, at Monza. It was painful. So, we actually get to see these cars in the beautiful daylight for a little while.
For a little while.
As we see Ricky Tam practicing his starts. That's very clinical. I haven't seen that before. Who else should we see? Who should we have a look at? Let's look at Frozen Joy in the Top Gear livery car. This car is a thing of beauty. So we are just waiting to hear from our race director.
All right, 1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
There we have it. We have our 1 minute warning from our race director before we advance into the race. Xanax, if you were the betting man,
If I was a betting man, it would be Spook.
Spook's gonna win.
On the pole, he's got the pace, even with the ballast. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be Spook.
I'm saying Ricky Tan podium.
I'd buy that.
I'm going to put Ricky Tan podium and possibly Jack podium. I'd love to see Jack on the podium here. I think it'd be really, really good. Right, so we're just waiting for the progress into race. As soon as it happens, we've got a little splash screen for you, and then we will start our race. Don't forget, we have a formation lap here at the GSMC now, so you get to see everyone formate round, and then we get the excitement of the very start of the race. I hope you are all doing well at home and enjoying the broadcast. We have Xanax here with us co-commentating this evening. The race is a 40-minute timed race at Silverstone in the dark. We have a caller.
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry, I can still hear you. I just wanted to chat. Sorry, Boost. Luke's just crashed.
Okay, Ken, if you can hear me, hold the start.
Holding start. 1 minute warning no longer applies.
Okay, cool. I need to make an announcement that you can put that in. They can type that into the chat for the race director. So we're just holding a start because Spook has crashed. So we're gonna wait for him to get back into the server, and then we will push to the start of the race. Okay, nothing like a little bit of a hiccup before we start.
It wouldn't be the GSMC without a little bit of a hiccup.
It really wouldn't. Who
Traditions.
else is really surprised me there? So Schmidt in 8th place actually done a really fine job. Korsky
Schmidt in
well.
8th. And also got a shout out to English for his first race in the GSMC in this championship. P9, up there with the rest of them.
Yeah, that's
Very
a very
impressive.
good point. Very good point. And that, I think that group from ASCII down to Oblong,
That is going to be a group to watch.
that is going to be interesting. I think they are going to be very, very tight there. Let's have a look to see if we can see if Spook has joined us back. He hasn't yet, so we're still waiting. Let me just send him a message. Let's ride. Who is on track? Let's ride on board with ASCII and have a look at him.
Again, this is the time where you want to be practicing for that race. Qualifying is done. It's over. You want to just be in that race trim, getting used to it, getting used to starting as we see Frozen Droid doing right now.
Yeah, we can actually see Wano ASCII as well, actually lining up on the grid in a grid marker, giving it a little bit of a practice start. Because these cars are fairly difficult to get off the line, actually. They just really bog in first gear, so you've really got to slip the clutch to get these things going.
And Spook is back with us.
Oh, wonderful. So we have Spook back in. We'll give him a couple of minutes and then we'll hand over to our race director to kick it off when he is ready. We see Spook actually out on track already.
Yep, and he was P2, if memory serves correctly.
He was indeed. He should keep his qualifying position, but it was well worth our race director just placing him back into P2 just in case. He just messaged me saying he's on it. So good. Very good. Right. Gagan, let's look at this beautiful man in the back marker's car. He's just pounding around at the moment, having a good time. We are just in the warm-up phase. We had lost Spook, and he is now back with us, so we can continue. If I can help it, we will not start the race without a competitor.
Hey, we're
Alright,
P1.
new 1 minute warning.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute until we start the race. Exciting times. What was you going to say, Mrs. Alex?
It was Spook P1 actually. I'm just thinking out loud.
Oh, okay. You might be right. Spook possibly was P1.
Gosh.
It was
And
Spook.
ballast.
Spook was P1. Yeah,
It was
Spook was
Spook.
P1.
Yep.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
he will need the 50 kilo ballast as well.
Yep. So Spook was in P1.
There we go. All set.
Hopefully our race director can hear us. Is he talking to you? I hope so.
Yeah, everything's good. to
He's
go.
not talking. I'm just seeing it in the chat. Good to go.
Yeah, he's good to go. So yeah, Spook should be in P1. Happy days. And we are good to go. 1 minute warning. Everyone should be back in the pits. I think the sunlight is probably starting to hurt their eyes. I know it is mine. It's very bright in the sun. As you see, Frozen Joy now
We
doing
are go.
some more race starts. So we are go. So we are going to come back after this. Okay, we are here in the race. We are just waiting for our drivers to enter and form up on the grid. We are starting. Some of the drivers are forming up on the grid now. We have 40 seconds until the formation lap. Once we go around the formation lap, we will check our starting order. And hopefully it is correct since Spook disconnected and connected. And night again, J71 says, and we are back at night. We're just waiting for English and Gagan to join us on the start-finish straight. Just more English. He has 13 seconds to go before they will be forced to start in the pit lane. They make it onto the start
They are,
line.
mate. They are there.
Happy days. 6 seconds to go before the formation lap. This is where the nerves start kicking in.
It's my favourite time of the race. That's just that anticipation of what's to come. Just getting in that zone, getting focused.
So we are back. There we go. Right. Okay. Let us have a look at our starting order. Let's bring it up. So hopefully, yeah. So Spook on pole with his teammate Twin Flow in second. Frozen Joy in third. Ricky Tan in fourth place. Then we move across to Jack in fifth and JR in sixth place in the FLD racing team. Come on, FLD, says Xanax. Wanowaski in seventh. Korski in eighth place. Schmidt in ninth. Top Goon Racing. 10th is English 52 in the Space Racing car. Gagan in 11th. Oblong in 12th place in the Kamikaze Racing team. Followed by his teammate, the coolest guy, Jordan in 14th. Wild Boys in 15th. And Flyler in 16th. But that is wrong because Wild Boys is in 16th place because he has a grid penalty for starting a crash last time. So Wild Boys will be started in 16th place. I am nervous for this. We have 16 races in the dark. All their lights are on. A couple of cars with some heavy ballast on board as well. So we see how that affects their race pace.
Heavy ballast and T1 is going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, T1 is extremely fast around here.
It's incredibly fast. So it's going to be interesting to see them all bunch up and then into that into the chicane.
For me personally, this track has all been like the new layout. It's all been about getting a good position onto the Wellington straight, and then you can make a move down the end of that, rather than trying to fight into into turn 1 and turn 2, for instance.
Yeah, fighting into Abbey and Farm is just go, and then into Village is just no go. You're going to it's a losing battle. As you said, the Wellington Straight is where it's at. Get that good exit, that good exit out of Daintree.
Absolutely. So we are just watching the guys now warming up their tyres, warming up their brakes, getting their weave on, making sure everything is okay. This is a nice formation lap from the drivers. Everyone is within limits. It is looking good. No problems. We've still got 16 drivers on our board here. Happy
No
days.
crashes yet.
No crashes
Happy
yet.
days.
Happy days. As
But-
we see Spook coming around now to take rightful P1 position. I think the ballast as well is going to affect cars off the line, so watch for a very, very fast start in Ricky Tan.
Indeed, and also Jack behind him, and JR. All of those are, and ASCII even. Those are very quick races.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, as we're just watching them now file out onto the grid. So they are on the grid, waiting for the start. We hear the starts going off. Long hold there, and it's go, go, go. Green flag as the car's going away. Someone stalled it back. Korski stalled on the grid, doesn't get away. As we see Spook getting underway nice. But look at that, Ricky Tan, 3 wide. Ricky Tan from 4th all the way up into 2nd place here. What an amazing start from Ricky Tan. We called it now. So Ricky Tan up into 2nd, directly behind Spook, with Frozen Joy jumping Twin Flow into 3rd place.
Yep.
As we...
Oh, go. Sorry.
No, go, Crit, continue.
Nope. I don't know what I was going to say, sorry. It's still Spook's still in the lead. You got Ricky Tan again right behind him. Frozen on his Ricky's tail, but dropping back ever so slightly into the grasp of Twin Flow.
Yeah, so we are just riding on board with Frozen Joy now. Frozen Joy looks like Twin Flow's going to make a move onto Frozen Joy. Twin Flow looks like he's going to go up the inside of Frozen Joy. A little bit of contact, but Frozen Joy now cuts back and it contains the right there. We see JR falling down the pack there, but I think they might have all got from English actually from 10th down to 16th place. He must have run wide or had a mistake at the beginning part of the track. He's way back, at least 8 seconds behind.
ASCII back as well. Must have been an incident or something.
So
back.
we can watch that. We have the replay save at the start of the grid, but we're just watching these cars power up. So we have Spook from Ricky Tan, Frozen Joy from Twin Flow, and Jack up into 5th place. A really fast start in Ricky Tan here, as we suspected. That is a perfect move from him. And we are riding on board with Frozen Joy. Actually, let's go on board with Frozen Joy here. He has the most ballast with 60 kilograms, holding a good place in 3rd. But we are just seeing Spook just gradually pace away. Yeah, Frozen Joy just struggling to get that car turned in. But let's have a look back here. Wild Boy's actually up into 12th place. We've got a big gaggle of cars down here. Yeah, so Korski caused a big kerfuffle at the start of the grid. He just didn't get the car moving or off the line. So we see Korski actually go around the outside, but we see a back marker's car of Gagan up the inside of Korski. Korski gets wide. Korski goes wide, but Gagan is now on the outside of Wild Boys. As Wild Boys takes the inside line, there's contact as well as they cross the line, but Wild Boys ahead of Gagan into turn 1. Wild Boys is on the inside, Gagan's on the outside. There's contact there! Wild Boys spins round, Gagan continues, so Wild Boys has spun and he's out of it at the moment. So he's dropped back down into 15th place, and English is actually way back. Has he had to pit for damage? We're waiting for Wild Boys to continue. But let's have a look at this. Twin Flow and Jack now.
I say Jack was on the arse of Twin Flow very close earlier, and now does look like Twin Flow is also on the back of Frozen.
So yeah, we see English is pitted.
Yeah, English is pitting, and I wouldn't be surprised to see my boys pit as well.
J71 says, yeah, there was a big crash in like turn 2 or 3 at the start that we missed because of the battle at the front, so we will go back and have a watch. We'll see what happened to English. We'll ride on board with him when we switch back when we've got some time. But look at this gaggle of cars here. Twin Flow, Jack, Schmidt, JR, Mason, Oblong. They are all within a couple of seconds of each other. This is exciting stuff. Let us listen in on the drive-by racing team quickly. and we have dead silence from them. So let's check the bumpers.
I was going to say just maximum concentration from these guys.
I think he's over tires. A little bit. Be smart.
Yeah, so they're talking about tyres and stuff. Oh, we've got... Ooh! The team radio box has come up then. Why has that done that for? Let's hide that. Perfect. Has Twinflow had heavy load added to the back of his car? Laugh out loud. He should do, shouldn't he? He should have had heavy load to the back of his car. What has happened to my stream here? There we go. All fixed. So, best lap time, Spook with a 203.779. He's being followed by Ricky Tan and Frozen Droid and Twinflow in 4th place. We are watching this battle between Jack, Twinflow, Schmidt and JR. This is going to be an exciting battle to the end, I think. The concentration, Terabyte says, of drive-by racing, the concentration indeed is palpable. We can hear it from here. We can hear the cogs turning.
You can hear the cogs turning. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jack make a move on Twinflow going into Brooklands here. He is right on his 6.
So we are riding on board of Twinflow right here. So look at Jack now hustling him through Luffield now as we see Twinflow getting a little bit back. Look at Jack sticking the nose of the throne inside, but the door closed on him there. Twinflow is saying, not today, my friend, you are not coming through. As they continue on their way. Jack can't afford to make too many mistakes like that. He just needs to get the move one and done because Schmidt and JR are directly behind him within a couple of seconds.
They're about 3 seconds back right now, but they do seem to be maintaining that 3 seconds rather than closing. But even then, he does need to get past and not ruin his tyres and just get focused on the remainder of the race.
Yeah, so Jack, actually, I think, looking at it here, I think Jack might have the pace as well to get past Frozen Droid. If he can get past Twinflow here, I think he'll be quickly on the back of Frozen Droid by the end of this race.
Very good potential.
As we see him now powering down the hangar straight, car get turned in. Looks like the ballast is just starting to affect his car. Jack can just seem to place that Ferrari exactly where he wants. Is he going to go for the move on the inside here? He pulls out, he has a little look. He doesn't quite go for it. And we are watching Jack now chasing down. Let's ride on board with Jack. As he's staring at that back window that says heavy load on the back of Twinflow's car.
And initially behind them you do have JR chasing Schmidt very close again, so 2 close battles in close proximity.
Oh, absolutely. I think if JR gets past Schmidt, I think JR would be on the back of this as well, so this is why Jack needs to get past as quick as he can. As we see Jack now, look at Jack, it's just really close there. So Jack, it's all over the back of Twinflow here. Hopefully Jack doesn't burn his tyres out too fast. Terabyte says, lovely close racing. Come on, Jack. It is incredibly close racing. Jack looks like he's going to go for the move. Sends the dummy. Twinflow does not react to that. He's a little bit wide. Oh, look at that. Twinflow gets a massive twitch in the middle of the corner, but Jack is nowhere to be able to counter that. Okay, I'm going to stay with this at the moment. Let me know if JR makes the move on Schmidt, and we will cross back over to that. We are not even 10 minutes into this race and Jack is hounding Twinflow. We see Spook gapping Ricky down by about a second and staying consistently there. The same with Frozen Droid to Ricky Tan, around a second or so. So Ricky Tan just needs to keep his nerve.
Keep his nerve, keep his cool, just stay consistent.
Look at this. Oh, who is that onto the back of JR? Is that Oblong?
That is...
or is that English? Is that English unlapping himself?
I believe that is English unlapping himself. Oblong is a good 10 seconds behind JR.
Okay, actually we see a Wild Boys and ASCII fight going on as well down the back of the grid. We'll have a quick look at that, I think. Yeah, we're going to jump to that. Let's see, they're just only crossing the start-finish line, so these guys must have had some big issues. I know we saw Wild Boys spin, but ASCII must have had some issues back there as well. I'm just happy. Is Twinflow getting added revenue from Jack now closest to the rear bumper? He definitely should do. I think Jack's car's... Oh, as you see ASCII now nearly losing it. As soon as that behind him, Skorsky spinning the BMW behind as well. Gets all out of shape.
Yeah. Oh, Korsky.
And we saw ASCII nearly wipe out the back of Wild Boys there. Wild Boys is doing a good job in 13th place defending and holding him off. I want to keep on board with the Jack. Looks like Jack's just dropped back a little bit. Obviously, I just keep seeing these guys flashing red on my screen. As we see Askey trying to go up the inside. A little bump there. Does he get the move done? He does.
No.
Wild Boys
seems to be pulling away.
Wild Boys gets on the brakes.
Stands a little.
Side by side, this incredible racing here. Oh, it's Askey got to go for outside number. Wild Boys pushes him out wide. They cross the line. Oh, they're both off the track there. Wild Boys nearly gets a tank snapper on as they head down to the start finish line. This is incredible racing from these two guys.
This is incredible. Jack's on the 6 of Twin Flow there. Very close racing indeed.
This is insane. Let's watch.
JR's in the barrier. JR's in the barrier. He's moving.
JR was in the barrier, but he's continued on his way. The JR has dropped back, but that is going to allow Oblong now to get onto the back of him. We were watching recovering JR. Oblong goes past, and so does Mason here. The two Kamikaze racing teams, nose and stone. So JR must have lost and probably got some damage. I expect to see him in the pit lane very shortly.
Yeah, he dropped it just outside of Woodcut, so a fair way to go to get back to the pits.
Yeah, indeed. So let's ride it back on board. So we see, we're just in time. We see Askey up the inside at Luffield on Wild Boys. Wild Boys isn't giving up though. He's a quarter panel away. Look at this, the drive that Ferrari has. Wild Boys is really wide, but looks like Askey's just nosed ahead because Wild Boys went really wide. Jason wants says, go Wild Boys, go indeed. And brakes. Oh, look at this. Was there contact there? Did Wild Boys collect the back of Askey, or did he just spin on his own? But Wild Boys is
think
back
he just
ahead.
spun on his own.
Wild Boys is now back ahead of Askey. Let's see if we can listen to the team radio. Seems like team radios are broken. Don't break on me, team radios. Come on.
And as expected, JR into the pits.
So JR has pitted from 7th place here. That's going to drop him down a fair few places, especially with the damage repair. We've got nothing on the team radios there. Let's listen to the full one-ton, boys. It does seem like Jack has... Twinflow has fended off Jack for a little while here.
I was going to say, Jack's had to fall back, but again, that threat from Schmidt and JR has disappeared, so it's less of an issue now. All he needs to do is just head down, knuckle down, get on with the race.
Looks like we've had Oblong spun. Mason into the barrier. I think Mason has spun onto the hangar straight here. So he pulls back on. And JR is in and out of the pits already, so JR is back up ahead of Oblong. JR into 8th place now.
May have just been fuel and tyres.
May have been just fuel and tyres. We see Korski also in the pits here. Let us ride on board with his lead group. We're going to have a look at the replay of the start on board with English 52 to see what happened to him. So we are riding on board here. I think he started in 10th or 11th place. We've got Korski in front. Gets the car over there, so Korski doesn't start, so he hits Korski off the start line. That's pushed him right back into the back of the pack. They now head into turn 1. Turns into turn 1 nicely, leaving plenty of room all around. We see, we see Askey and Gagan get into it, and they spin across the track, and they collect English on the way through. So English was just a bad and unlucky bystander to that accident, and he gets underway very quickly. So yeah, unfortunately to him,
wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, the car's just spun and rolled slightly back, collected him on a rear quarter, and that is the end. Unfortunately, he's going to have a big push now to catch up to the back of the track, but anything can happen. We still have 37 minutes left of this race. Anything can happen. Interestingly enough though, looking at the front, Spook's lap times are decreasing. He did a 2-minute 4.4 last lap, and Ricky Town with a 2:04.1. So Ricky Town has closed the gap right up to half a second.
I was going to say half a second of Frozen Droid not far behind as well. 7/10 behind Ricky there. And consistently keeping that gap is considerably shrunk since a few laps ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if the ballast is starting to play a part and really starting to hurt these guys' tyres, and they're just having to back off a little bit just to preserve them. We've still got 26 minutes to go. We're not even at halfway mark yet.
Yep, that could very much be the case. And as you said, that tyre deg is going to be critical. It's playing out exactly like we said.
Yep, absolutely. So we just need, what we need is we need Mr. Jack to just get onto the back of this pack a little bit more. So we've got the 4 there. So we've got the 4 there, and then Jack's just a little way off. Was he about a second and 8 off?
Just under 2 seconds behind Twin Flow there.
Yeah, so we just need him to bunch back up. But yeah, Ricky Tan and Frozen Droid in some sort of weird wonton sandwich right now. But yeah, we have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th all within the same camera shot, which is incredible. Some super tight racing here. Let's see if anything's going on down the back of it. No, we've got Oblong and Jar fairly close to each other. We'll keep an eye on those. We'll see, look at that, look. Frozen Droid just can't keep the car turned in as much as he wants with this full fuel. But as the fuel burns off, it's going to start coming back to him, I think. But are their tyres going to be dead before that happens?
I was going to say, it's all good being full fuel, low fuel, but against the situation with the tyres. If your tyres are shot, and you got somebody with similar fuel but better tyres, then good night.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if we can get any Brum Boys messages.
I've already got half my tyres gone on my front.
So interesting, Ricky Tan
I bet
saying
you've
he's
got more
got...
than that.
Ricky Tan saying he's lost half of his tyres on the front of his car already. So Ricky Tan complained about tyre wear. So we know Ricky Tan is a very, very positive turning car driver. He always wears his front tyres more than any other driver. So he may be suffering about the same wear as these other guys around him.
And he may have just overcooked them.
Oh, look at that. He runs wide there. So that is allowed
Runs wide,
Frozen Droid.
Frozen. And Twin Flow.
So yeah, they've all just caught up here. So Ricky Tan just needs to relax a little bit.
Needs to relax and can't just basically relax, focus, and don't make any mistakes. That's what gets you.
It does indeed. I'm just going to switch camera now quickly to Oblong and JR while you stay on board, because we see Oblong running wide and JR running all the way around the outside of Luffield. He's going to try and go for the cutback on Oblong. J71, our inside Oblong fan. What is Oblong saying about his race so far? We see JR just on the back of him. They're both in the Audi, so it's going to be Audi versus Audi. He's really, really close here going through cops, but he can't get on the back. We have a yellow flag in Sector 2 for someone. As we actually see Oblong running wide, that's going to allow JR to swing round. Yeah, so JR gets the move done nicely in the end. Oblong just runs a little bit wide. I'm dead happy, says laugh out loud, just relax and race the perfect race. Pretty strong, but yeah, tyres are bad, says J71 for Oblong. So yeah, JR must have done a pit stop for tyres, and he is on his way nicely. So we are going to switch back to this front pack here. This little battle is allowed Spook just a little bit of breathing space here.
I was going to say, it's just spread out a little bit. There's nobody attacking each other too hard. Ricky running a little bit aggressive with the corner there, but situation no change.
Situation no change. Sounds good. J71 says pretty strong, but tyres are pretty bad. Front tyres are about 70%. That's not too bad, actually. I think Ricky Tan was saying his was about 50%. Or I don't know whether that is an over-exaggeration or not, but actually we can have a quick look. I know I haven't found out what the tyre names are, but I can't even read these. No, it's too dark. I can't read what those tyre names are, but I think they are all hards. Yeah, maybe something like that. He's crashed. Oblong has crashed, apparently. Let's have a look. I see him going around pretty well. He must have had a little spin somewhere. This has allowed Gagan to close back onto him. So we will keep an eye on the gap between him and Gagan. But we want to watch this Ricky Tan, Spook, Frozen Droid, Twin Flow fight at the front of the pack here. It looks like Ricky Tan is just pulling the gap back to Spook as well. He must have just got his head down, muscled through. He's probably thinking like Frozen Droid hasn't got enough to launch an attack on him. So he doesn't need to risk defending. Oh, and Oblong's complaining front tyres are flat spotted and front aero damage on him.
Oh no, that's a shame for Oblong. But we see Frozen thinking about making a move on Ricky.
Just doesn't have the legs on it. I'm dead happy. Could this be?
Legs.
I'm dead happy. Could this be a 2 to 3 pit race? I think we might see pit stops here. If people are struggling with tyres at this stage, there might be some pit stops some tactical pit stops happening, but I think the front runners are going to run until their tyres are dead and on the ragged edge.
I was going to say we've definitely seen a couple of races make stops now, but not the front pack. If it was going to be a two-stopper, we would have seen it by now. We're 21 minutes to go in the race.
Yeah, absolutely. And interesting enough, one to keep an eye on would be JR. Terabyte says, well, I hope Jack pits soon as he's struggling now. Yeah, so the one to look out for would actually be JR, because JR seems to have a pit stop for tyres. He is now only 7 seconds behind Schmidt, who is only 13 seconds behind Jack. So can JR launch a real good offensive here and maybe possibly get up to Jack by the end of this race? He's the one to watch to see whether a one-stop strategy will work here.
Agreed.
As we see Gagan now in the pits. So Gagan has pitted. We'll see what his pit timer is. If it's fairly short, that means he's just gone for tyres and no fuel. I think I can't remember what the tyre time was, but it's fairly short.
So I did get word from the race director that he did just spin, so that may be good for him that he's pitting now and getting that stop out of the way, and hopefully he can make his tyre last and go to the end.
Yeah, so Gagan pits from P10, so he's got to drop out the point. So Gagan's DNF'd actually, so we have a do not finish from Gagan. So we do know he was feeling under the weather as well, so he has retired from this race. We have lost Gagan, unfortunately, so we're down to 15 races as Gagan now tumbles down the field. And Wild Boy's actually up into 12th place, doing a fine job. Korski right back there with English on, chasing him down. So Korski had to pit as well, but we know that was for damage. He had a couple of spins. But now we see Ricky Tan under big pressure from Frozen Droid still. Spook's just got away now. It's into the 2-second mark. Ricky Tan's feeling his tyres, I think.
I concur, and especially with Frozen right on his ass, I'm surprised Frozen's not had the pace to make a move yet.
Let's listen in on to the Top Gun livery.
Alright, you got this, man. Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
So we got Spook just egging on Frozen Droid, just telling him nice and easy. You got this. Take it nice and easy. Oh, was you see Ricky Tan clobber the curb there?
That's not gonna. It's gonna make his car unsettle. No.
Oh, look at that! He runs really wide. His Frozen Droid's gonna choke right outside. Ricky Tan needs to close that door. Frozen Droid though.
Frozen.
Oh, jeez, Ricky Tan left him so much space. Gagan rammed into the back of Oblong trying to pass him, so maybe that was the moment he said to himself, I'll just stop here. Oh, Gagan and Oblong apparently having a come together. That is unfortunate here.
But Twinflow getting through Frozen as well, capitalising on that mistake. And
yeah,
now,
oh, look at that Twinflow going up trying to inside. That is not a place to do that, I don't think. But now Twinflow is going to fall back into the clutches of Frozen Droid. This is going to be tight. Is this going to be a Hamilton and Max Verstappen?
It very well could be, unless Frozen.
Oh, they are side by side going through there. They are not giving an inch. This is incredible. I am gripping the side of my chair here as we see Frozen Droid edges it into Maggots and Beckett's there. Wow, that is not a place to run side by side like that in the dark.
In the dark, especially, even in the day, as risky as Lewis found out a few years ago now.
Absolutely, but what this has done is given Ricky Tan some breathing space. Ricky Tan now, a second up the road, can just relax and maybe start to get into his race and try and think about chasing down Spook.
And maybe think about his pit strategy. When does he want to pit, if at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what you don't want to be is the first person to pit out of this group, do you?
You do not. You do not want to be that catalyst. Yeah. Everybody's just waiting for everybody else to pit, and that's the name of the game right now.
They are still setting 204s, 205s, now 206s for the front guys. So yeah, the pace is dropping off pretty dramatically actually. It's about a second slower this lap than the previous lap for all of the front runners.
Frozen getting very close to Ricky Tan again. Ricky going over the sausage curb, really destabilizing his car again.
Let's ride on board with Frozen Droid as we see. Oh, he's got the inside here.
He's got the inside line. Ricky closing the door once again.
Yeah, that was very, very nice driving for the pair of them. That could have gone horribly wrong either way. But is that going to allow Twin Flow up the back of Frozen Joy? No, Twin Flow is just a little bit back to... But what this is doing, Terabyte, what this is doing is allowing Jack on the back. Jack is now only 3 seconds behind. Oh, Ricky Town runs wide. Frozen Joy couldn't capitalise, so Ricky Town gets the power down and continues away. So Ricky Town is struggling with his front axle.
Somebody's going to need to initiate this pit train soon.
Ricky Town shouting, "Go away, Frozen!"
See what I can do, cut cops this time. That makes one lap.
He's talking about cutting off cops and stuff. See if he could get. Oh, actually, that Audi, the Aston Martin doesn't seem to be turning too bad for the high speed. It seems to be the slow speed he's struggling with. And Frozen Joy there struggling.
But Frozen getting a good drive down onto the hanging straight there.
This could be it. Ricky Tan needs to stay right here. He does not need to pull left at all. As soon as he pulls left, that's it. As soon as Frozen Joy pulls left, that's when you can close the doors. Is he going to go around the outside? He does.
He does, and he makes it stick.
Frozen Joy round the outside of Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan demoted a place into P3. Is he going to go back for the fight back? He's looking for it, but no. Frozen Joy gets the move done. Frozen Joy now up into P2. That was a fantastic move there from Frozen Joy.
Agreed, but now Ricky Tan needs to be concerned about Twin Flow. The Twin Flow is right on his right where Frozen Droid once was.
Yeah, Twin Flow is thinking if he can do it, I can do it. But it took Frozen Droid a long time to get through Ricky Tan.
But if Ricky's tyres are shot and Twin Flows are good, and there we go. We see Twin Flow making an attack around the outside. Ricky holding it.
It looks like Twin Flow can just place his Aston where Ricky can't.
Yep.
As they now head down the Wellington Straight, we'll see if he can launch an attack. No, Ricky Tan just gets to drive out, stays ahead, but look at this. He's under so much pressure, is Ricky Tan. He's got 14 minutes to survive. Oh, he goes wide here. Twin Flow's going to go on the inside. They're going to
make it stick.
Ricky Tan. Oh, look at that drive out from Ricky Tan, though, for that wide line. Ricky Tan needs to close that door on him. Yes, he does nicely. Ricky Tan closes the door on Twin Flow. We thought that move was done, but Ricky Tan is saying, not today, my friend.
But what this is doing is allowing Jack to catch up. He's now 2.5 seconds back.
He is. Jack must be rubbing his hands with glee. He must be thinking, I can get onto the back of these guys as they're battling. And all the time they're battling, Ricky Tan's tyres are hurting more and more.
Even more and more. And Frozen's is just running away.
Look at
He's
this.
now 2 seconds up.
Look at this. Ricky Tan wide on the exit here. Now Twin Flow is going to make the move. Ricky Tan is looking to defend here. You need to squeeze in now to the left, mate. If he's beside you, squeeze him into the braking zone. Don't give him any room to sweep round. There's a bit of contact there on his door to door. But Ricky Tan holds it.
It ain't racing.
I think that was fair. Terabyte said it would have been nice to see the boy on a podium step, but might get fourth if he can keep the pace up on Twin Flow. I think Jack was saving his tyres there. He's now pushing in the last 12 minutes. That's a very good point. Oh, we see Ricky Tan one wide. He gets the move done on Ricky Tan. So Ricky Tan now down into 4th place. The podium has just slipped away from him, unfortunately.
It depends if he can make a re-attack here. He's still going for it. He's still on to Twin Flow.
Looks like Twin Flow's just managed to ease out a little bit in front of him. So now Ricky Tan needs to be thinking about Jack behind him, because Jack is right there. Look at that. Jack is hot on his heels. Let's see if we can hear anything from the Drive Our Racing team. Or is it just pure concentration as usual? Of course it's pure concentration as usual.
Of course it's pure concentration. But Jack now down to within half a second of Ricky. This is... if I was Jack, I'd be rubbing my hands with glee.
Yeah, you see, look at that. Ricky Tan washing wide there.
Wide again. Jack just seems to be on rails and getting ever so close.
Oh, look at this. Jack has got the inside here on the exit. We know Ricky Tan's faster on the power, but Jack is on the inside. Oh, look at this. That is like taking candy from a baby. We see Jack down the inside, and he gets the move done on Ricky Tan. They're going to be side by side, but Ricky Tan's going to have to deal. Jack up the inside. Jack taking... Oh, he spins! Jack spins. Ricky Tan spins out. That is a big collision there through that high-speed corner. They both get the cars underway. Ricky Tan continues in front, but Jack made the mistake there by taking to the inside curb And being just a little bit too generous on Ricky Tan.
Oh, what a shame. That was such a good battle there, and just Jack had to go and bin it.
Yeah, that was such a
He
shame.
was
But that
so close to making that move stick.
He really was. That's not going to do either of their tyres any good. If anything, that's going to hurt Ricky Tan more than it is Jack. Terabyte says, no! So we are watching Ricky Tan now power through to complete that, but this has dropped them right behind Twin Flow. They are now 10 seconds off the front three. Can we see the gap between Frozen Joy and Spook decrease enough for Frozen Joy to put a challenge maybe?
Potentially that gap is decreasing. I've seen it go from 1.9 as it's a consistent 2 second to 1.9 second gap.
Yeah, we'll see. But we
It's
see
hard to
Jack
say.
now right on the back of Ricky Tan here.
Once again, now the question is, can he make the move stick this time, or is he going to spin out once again? Jack going wide.
So is Ricky Tan though. They both outbroke themselves there a little bit, so that didn't help either of them. But it looks like Jack is setting up for the cutback here.
Yep, that's going to help Schmidt though, than going wide and slowing down.
Oh yeah, that's very true. We've got Schmidt and JR now within what,
3
6
seconds for Schmidt.
Yeah, 3 and 3 of each other. So yeah, that is interesting to see if they can get on their back. They can see them within their sights now, so they are going to want to be chasing these boys down. And look at this, just Ricky Tan just can't get the cut. Look at this, Jack just up the inside this time.
Trying again.
But he gets the move done now before the exit of the corner. So Ricky Tan's tyres have absolutely folded on himself. He's not given up though. He's coming for a fight back. Is he going to try up the inside?
Is he? I think he is.
Ricky Tan from the inside. Oh, he just yields. But does Jack get through? So Jack continues. Yeah, Jack makes it stick. So this time they get through that corner cleanly. J71 says, oh my god, Wild Boys is having a pretty good race. He is up into 12th place, a second behind Flyler. We need to keep an eye on that. If Wild Boys gets on Flyler, we will switch to them. But we see Jack now making the move and getting past Ricky Tan and on his way down the road. Ricky Tan, see if he falls into the clutches of Schmidt here. So let's have a look at Wild Boys, what we're talking about. So Wild Boys is now chasing down Flyler ahead of him. It is the two Ferrari teams. They both run really wide into turn 2. Well, Flyler looks very, very slow though.
Flyler looks slow, and it's important to know that Flyler didn't have any practice before this session. He's been thrown in the deep end, and Wild Boy's running wide actually a little bit as well.
That is very true, and actually I'm going to switch back to Ricky Tan because we have Schmidt on the gearbox of Ricky Tan now. Schmidt within half a second of Ricky Tan. Ricky Tan's tyres have officially left the building. They are gone. Let's go on board with the boys.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Yeah, all right.
Schmidt is hilarious. He's just shouting, come on, baby. Come on, baby. As he's chasing Ricky Tan down. It's making all sorts of noises. It's the best thing I've ever seen.
And a point to note is JR is 3 seconds not even behind.
Oh, Schmidt spun!
Ooh!
Schmidt spun! Schmidt has spun and JR collects him!
He's forced.
JR has collected him as well, so JR has spun as well. That is unfortunate. So Schmidt spins, JR collects him, but does JR get on the way? JR does make it through. So JR is on. So that has given Ricky Tan a big sigh of relief. But yeah, Schmidt is not going to be happy with that.
I would be tempted just to hop onto his team radio and just see what he's saying. Though I imagine there would be a lot of censoring would be required.
Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a listen.
Damn, dude.
No, he's just like, ah, damn, dude, that's a bummer. And so he said, who is that going slow in front? Is that Ricky Tan going slow? That is a slow Ricky Tan. What happened to Ricky Tan then? Why has he suddenly gone slow? JR has just caught up right up to the back of him. Has Ricky Tan hit the wall?
I think Ricky Tan may have hit the wall. I did hear something in the game audio. It may have just been...
Look at this, JR is all over the back of him here. JR is literally pushing him through these corners. Ricky Tan, his tyres are dead. I've got to listen to the Brum boys.
Jeez, I'm just dropping like a stone. I've had nothing on my front tyres for the last
Ricky
5
just
laps.
continuing to hold on for dear life.
Lost
JR,
4 positions.
was that contact there?
No, not quite, but Ricky Tan's saying he's had nothing on his front tyres for the past 5 laps. And he's just dropping like a stone, he is. At what point do you give up and get a fresh set of boots? Probably 5 laps ago.
5 minutes to go, you just rough it out. If you pit now, you're going to be dropping back all the way.
As we see Schmidt now getting back onto these as well. So Schmidt is all over the back of these guys as well. But Flyer and Wild Boys are close. Let's have a look at these. Oh, we see the full one-ton racing of Spook about to lap these guys. So they are not going to want to give up. But this is going to allow Frozen Droid actually. Look.
And they are making a move on Ricky. Making the... Oh, my...
We see Flyer go wide. Flyer goes wide. Wild Boys goes through. But that has allowed Spook and Frozen Droid to catch right up with each other. So Frozen Droid is right on the tail of Spook now. The traffic has helped Frozen Droid. I'm dead happy. What's the legality of Ricky holding up those behind him? It's absolutely fine. It's for position. I'm dead happy. It isn't for blue flags or anything. So Ricky Tan is legitimately allowed to defend his position in this case.
And JR has made the move stick on Ricky again once into Cobbs, just round the corner, around the outside.
Nice. So yeah, you see Ricky Tan now struggling as well. He's also got Schmidt. Schmidt actually threw him down the hanger straight. Ricky Tan now down to 7th place. His tyres are not happy. So we see Schmidt through on Ricky Tan, and now Schmidt up into 6th place here. But the battle, there is a battle for the lead going on. We have Frozen Droid and Spook here. Spook got held up by some back markers that slowed him right down, and Frozen Droid has just managed to get into his clutches here. We have to remember that Frozen Droid does have 10 kilograms more of ballast than Spook. I don't know how much that's going to matter at these last stages with the low fuel they're going to be running at this point.
And 10 kilos is not going to matter that too much. It's going to be negligible.
Yeah, exactly.
Easily made up by driver skill. It's going to be whoever is the better driver in these two on this day is going to take it.
Yeah, and I think Spook is looking very comfortable at the lead. He's just led from the start and just eased away. Hasn't really had too much bother. He had a little bit from Ricky Tan at the start, but he managed to hold that off quite nicely. And yeah, we just see Frozen Droid dropping back now, ever so slightly, as they head into Maggots and Beckett's complex. Actually, we have a fight between English and Jordan that I'm going to ride on board with. So English now going up the inside of Jordan. Jordan runs really wide. English looks like he might get the move done. He does indeed get the move done as he powers down to the Wellington straight. And Jordan looks like he's just a little bit slow out. See, we've got some blue markers there. That's the KRT Racing team going through around the outside. That may be Oblong, who's in 8th. That is Mason, actually. Oblong is just behind them. So while we've got 2 minutes left, let's run down our orders. We have Spook in 1st place with Frozen Droid in 2nd, Twin Flow in 3rd, Jack in 4th, JR in 5th, Schmidt in 6th, Ricky Tan in 7th, Mason 8th, Oblong 9th, Winoaski 10th, Wild Boys 11th, Flyler in 12th, English in 13th, a good recovery from him, Jordan in 14th, Korski in 15th, and unfortunately we have lost Gagan to a DNF. So we are just riding on board with our race leader. So I estimate we have 2 laps remaining. This lap and one more with 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock.
I would agree there.
So Frozen Droid needs to get something done. First time Twin Flow has been in the sub 4s for a while. He's gaining. Let's have a look. So Twin Flow is in the 2:04.3. He is actually. He's 10th quicker on that last lap than the previous guys. That is interesting. See if he can gain. So these two might start defending, but it's only a couple of laps, so it's going to be some hard defense and hard lunges, I think.
agreed, and basically the Spook needs to hold out and for these 2 laps. If he can keep that position and just defend Frozen off, he's good to go. It's just max concentration for the last 2 laps.
Yeah, I agree. And Spook is very good at that. We have a new follower from Gagan. Gagan, my friend, welcome, dude. I'm sorry to see you DNF from the race. I hope you are feeling better, dude. You put up some good qualifying times, but yeah, we saw the spin and stuff. But hopefully we will see you for the next one, my friend. And thank you very much for the follow as well. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Spook would love to slow this down and finish on this lap, but Frozen Droid is not gonna let that happen. And we actually see Schmidt closing in on JR as well for 5th and 6th place. So that is
Schmidt
definitely
has made an impressive drive.
He has indeed. That is definitely one to keep an eye on at the closing stage. So we see Spook now starting his final lap, 31 seconds remaining. So this is going to be the last lap of the race for Spook and Frozen Droid. Frozen Droid just a little bit back from Spook to make any sort of attempt through this first sector. He's going to have to just give it all into qualifying mode, give everything he's got to make this work. It does look like Frozen Droid's just got a little bit more front end on his car than Spook does.
So ever a little bit more grip, and that's going to be ever just that little bit more beneficial, and it's going to help him.
Look at this, he's closed
keep
right up.
close.
Look at this, Spook goes defensive down the Wellington straight. Spook knows there are 0 minutes remaining. This is the last lap. This is for the win here. We have a yellow in sector 2. I don't know who's spun out there, but they are back underway. And we need Frozen Droid just to eke up. Spook done enough. He gets on the power nicely.
I think he has.
That Aston is incredible under power. It really sprites off the line as we saw with the fights from Ricky Tan. Terabyte says, boost, Ken and Xanax, brilliant commentary and fantastic close racing. Thanks, I look forward to the next round. Well done, Spook. So Terabyte is calling Spook win already. We haven't quite finished just yet.
Yeah, I was going to say, it isn't over until the fat lady sings. Magus Beckers, he's still got Chapel, Hanger Straight, Stowe and Vale to go.
Yeah, still a couple of corners here. We see Twin Flow just behind 3.8 seconds, as I'm dead happy says. So they are closing in at the back. JR and Schmidt are pretty close. Can Schmidt make a move at the end?
I don't think so. Schmidt seems to have backed off a little bit. It's just going to be, unless JR makes a mistake like he has there, ran wide.
So, but also Schmidt looks like he's even further back than before, 1.1 seconds. As we're just watching our leader, our race leader, from the start to the finish, coming around the final corner now as we see Spook in the full one-ton racing team crossing across the line. He's going to take the checker flag. He finishes across the line in P1 with Frozen Droid in P2. Twin Flow crosses the line in P3. Jack, we're right on board with him. He's going to be an impressive P4 if he gets to the line. As we're watching him now close up into the final chicanes. That is a fantastic drive from Jack. As he comes across the final line, takes the line, flashes his lights, goes Giga Chad with his lights, crosses the line now. Well done, JR finishes in 5th, Schmidt in 6th, and Ricky Tan is going to bring it into 7th place. That podium was looking very promising for him.
Ah, that is so gutting for Ricky. That was driving so well, and then his tyres just gave out.
Yeah, those tyres have only one place, and that is the bin, I think. So,
agreed.
Ricky Tan crosses in 7th place here. We've got Mason here coming through the last sector in 8th place. We may not get through to him at the end here. Oh, we might actually see him cross the line. So Mason finishes an impressive 8th place and gets some points for the Kamikaze Racing Team. He does indeed. Look at that. Nice job from Mason. And Oblong in 9th place, just a ways behind him. Oblong going to cross the line in 9th place. Wano Aski is going to finish in 10th with Wild Boys in 11th, just outside the points in 11th place. A fantastic drive from Wild Boys. Terabyte says, well done, Jack. J71 says, nice race, everybody. I agree, that is a fantastic race from everyone here. let us have a look at our schedule. So our next round is Circuit of the Americas. It's not until the 23rd of July because unfortunately I am moving house. So I am not going to be available for a little while because I'm moving house. So you're going to have to just put up with the GSME races, which will be in the next, when is that going to be? 2 weeks time today will be the GSMC round, and that'll be at Barcelona. That is going to be live streamed from Ricky Tan. I will put out the details when we have that soon. But it was an amazing race. I really enjoyed it. Xanax, thank you very much. I'm going to just quickly bring Kendo in here and say thank you to him. Kendo, thank you very much for race directing tonight, my friend.
No problem at all, my pleasure.
Xanax, pleasure having you here, but it's going to be even better to see you back on track next time.
I was going to say, I enjoyed the commentary aspect, but I enjoyed the racing even more. It's been a pleasure the past couple of times, but I'm just itching to get back in that racing.
Perfect. Dead happy to ads right now. Come on, Twitch. Oh, that is rough from Twitch. But thank you very much, gents. We will see you next time for the next round of the GSMC. See you soon. Take care and good night.